3 billion naira. So you take this again. Reps demand end to trial. All of those you would find on the Punch newspaper. Abducted editor asthmatic family laments. NUJ demands release. It's also on the Punch, and this one says parties in fighting parallel primary live on Facebook. I always encourage you to do this. So it's one way to get a very exciting experience on radio. You could do that from wherever you are in the world. Listen to us from wherever you are in the world. So you could tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a family member that distance isn't a problem. All you need to do is get to Facebook, search for Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That is the handle. So you go to the search bar, you put in Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, you get on the page, you see the live stream there where you can drop your comment and you can also share. Very important. Don't forget to share and comment, watch, listen, and let's have a great conversation. Okay, so if you've done that, let's get on now to the Vanguard newspaper. And on the Vanguard, we have more interesting headlines for you this morning. Don't also forget to use the WhatsApp portal 0809 030 6416. That is the WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. Okay, send us WhatsApp messages. Try to keep the messages really short. And for those of us who are dropping their comments real time on the live stream, try to keep it short as well. On the Vanguard, Delta killings, 3 suspects nabbed. That's what you find there. Delta killings, 3 suspects nabbed. Erosion, Abia government urges residents to relocate. Another one here says, continued insecurity worries Southeast residents. And enough of Hisbah impunity in Kanu. You'll also find that there on the Vanguard newspaper. If you go further, you would see some more interesting headlines where this one says Naira rises to 1,580 Naira to $1 in the parallel market. And Abia Assembly passes bill to stop pension for ex-governors and deputies. Abia Assembly passes bill to stop pension for ex-governors and deputies. And I think it's a fantastic thing. Because if you go to serve as a governor, it makes you a senior civil servant for the time being. And the moment you're done, what are we paying you pension for? You were there for 4 years. It's not like, what are we paying you pension for? What? So you would say it makes sense, especially in this time where you have to save money. Because when you think about the governors that serve as governors and then now become senators, so they are collecting pensions as governors and they are collecting monies as senators, and some of them have other appointments. How do you relate that? Well, so you find that on the Vanguard newspaper as well. Before I go on and take some messages, let's also see what we have on The Nation. We haven't really looked at The Nation newspaper for a while. Soldiers killing, no one left in community, says governor. No one left in community, says governor. This was the governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oborewori. He was the one speaking and has said no one left in community, says governor. You'd also find this one on the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu writes reps seek passage of bill to improve judicial officers' welfare. That's also there on the Nation newspaper. Health Minister, Permanent Secretary gets 72 hours to explain unaccounted $300 million anti-malaria funds. All I can say is, that's a deep breath one. Find the details on the Punch. Health Minister, Permanent Secretary gets 72 hours to explain unaccounted $300 million anti-malaria funds. And before we go to the messages on Facebook, 42,000 metric ton of grains being shared to states, says Agriculture Minister. Now, we don't know. Perhaps it's going to take a while before some of the states get these grains, but then there's no information known to me to suggest that we have received any of such grains here in Rivers State. But we're looking, because we know that some states up north already started receiving. Well, let's wait and see. Now, we look at Facebook and touch on the comments. Let's see how many we can take before we open the phone lines. Don't forget the numbers to call. You can write them down. 0817 923 0007. 0817 923 0002 or 0817-923-0003. Fidelis says the military should be professional in the discharge of their duties. Raymond Eze says the burning of houses and killing of innocent citizens in Okwama. What? I'm trying to get that. Community by the military should be condemned. Well, the military has said it is not involved in such acts. It did not involve in such act. That's one. But I'm also going to say, while we are concerned about what might have happened to the communities and all that, I think it's also fair to also consider what could be what is happening to those officers that died, because it seems as though, I mean, when you look at it, we do not really put much attention to when these officers put their lives on the line. In this case, they did not put their lives on the line because they didn't go for a battle or anything, but then they were killed or slaughtered, or whichever way you want to put it. And some people would say that the uproar against that isn't as many would expect when you just oppose it with how people are responding now. Oh, they are killing our houses, and then that's the focus. So I think it should be balanced. We do not want innocent civilians losing their properties and their lives, but then we also have to be very vocal about what has happened to members of the Nigerian army. Skillful Piro says Abia Assembly passes bill to stop pension of ex-governors and deputies. It's a welcome development. Justice Sori says Mwagin Tanara Roads projects in the Mujaga communities among the NDDC abandoned projects in Rivers State. The contractor did have drainage in 2012. Until today, we haven't seen them. Roundface says, good morning. Roundface says 165 farmers killed in March. Indeed, it's condemnable. This killing of farmers has put fear in other farmers not to go to the farm. Lorenzo Delight says, Honorable Tony Okocha calling on contractors handling projects in Rivers State to return to site is a good one. They should also pay contractors. NDDC is for development of the region. Adindu says, good morning. From Omuma, so you're sending this. Justice Ben Tayanko not granting Kanu bill is expected from her. Tango Ability says killers of soldiers may not be indigenes of Niger Delta communities, says Gosul Akpabio. How did he know that the killers of the soldiers are not indigenes of Niger Delta? The sudden stop of sanitation in Rivers State is not a welcome development. That's something that really needs to be looked at. And people talking about constituting for the whole tourist Rwama. First, Kingsley, this is Ida from Nkoro, says, please don't leave politics and face real work. Nkoro is also part of Niger Delta, completed SC project in Olomu Nkoro. Chief Tony Okocha should come to Nkoro and force the contractor handling the project, street lights, to complete it. Okudili Iwu Ogu on Facebook says, terror, 165 farmers killed. Who's bandits that kill Nigerians every day? Who are these bandits that kill Nigerians every day? Are they invincible? The president should do everything possible to stop this ugly trend. Christian Williams says, see this kind of money that is missing under this administration. What can I say to? Well, keep the comments coming in on Facebook. We'll be taking as much as possible. But now let's get over to the phone lines. Abinoye from Abua, we'll start with you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Andrew. Yes, I want to look at the board, the UBE board. I think there's an advocation that it should be changed. Now, if you look at the senior secondary and the junior secondary board, you find that there is a great difference. You find that during this promotion, all arrangements on the promotion were perfectly done in the senior secondary. But in the UBE, all the increments up to now is not been done. I think that there's a need to change new hands because I'm thinking that there is so much to gain in the UBE, the junior secondary schools. If you get to the schools, most of those blocks are dilapidated. I am told that there is a qualifying exam by a reliable source that principals and vice principals do write. But I think that in a decade now, it has not been possible to write that exams. I think that the board should be changed. The issue of the Delta killing, that is one too many. I do not know why civilians are killing military men. And in the news this morning, we are told that mercenaries, who engaged these mercenaries to kill these officers? I think that it should not be as before. Before long, you say that we are looking for, the killers of, before, a matter is dead. I think that this thing must stop, whether it's in Delta State or not. the system is a system. What affects one part affects the other.
All right, Abinoye, thank you very much. We have to move on now to the next caller. We don't have all the time. Lugard in Echie, good morning.
Yes, Andrew. Greetings from Echie too.
All right, go on, Lugard.
Yes, Toyo Kocha charging NDDC contractors to go back. Look at man. Said as NDDC state rep, done his responsibility. Hey, he's talking about charging and he said this contractor should go back so that we now can monitor it and know if really how the level of punishment.
Look, you might have to call us back. I think we can't hear you clearly, the network from your end. So please, Lugard, if you can, do call us back or send us a message. Good morning, JJ from Rumigbo. Go ahead.
Good morning, Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew, NDDC asking contractors to go back to site. Well, it's a good one, but I think this should be what I would call campaign after elections. The NDDC rep has this type of big job in his hand, but left it for some time and begin to look at what the governor is doing. Well, if he wants it, I will also send him some of the things the governor have done over time. But 952 uncompleted projects in Rivers State alone, and the man who is supposed to charge people left it and was chasing other things. It's not a good one at all. So for me, I think it should focus more on this mandate than any other thing. Then reign of terror, 165 farmers killed, and we are seeking food security. Andrew, I think we should focus and smoke out those people that are making all those demand 3 trillion and make sure that we have farmers going back to farm so that we can have food. And conclusively, I want to urge the president to also write the reps so that they can seek welfare for teachers. For goodness sake, judicial this, judicial that. What about the school that is shut down now because Nansu and Sano are on strike because they've not been paid? What do I know? Thank you very much.
All right, JJ, thank you. Mufasa from NTA Road, good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning, Andrew. Well, I'm also concerned about the numbers of farmers that have been killed in the month of March alone. Over 165 farmers. And we also told that farmlands have been deserted as bandits, we call them terrorists, are making humongous demands. My brother, and we are clamoring for a reduction, in the price of food. I understand that the government keep telling people to go to the farms, that we should diversify and all of that. But if we cannot protect farmers, then what is the need for calling people to go to farm? So I'm urging our government to see how they can keep the farms safe so that people can go into their farms, and grow crops for Nigerians. And then again, the governor of Delta State is going to see the president, regarding the killing in Okwama community. For me, I'm urging the community people to see how they can assist the army in fishing out the perpetrators of such crimes. Whether they are telling us they are mercenaries, they are this and that, we know that the people who did this desperately hard, they are from the community and they are hibernating somewhere within and around the community. So they should help the government and the army to fish out those people so that the sufferings of those innocent, old people and young children will be reduced. That's my position.
All right, Mufasa, thank you. Tammy from Old GRA, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I want to talk about the security issues generally, the killing of the farmers, the recent one between
Go ahead.
And all that. You see, I think generally it's the failure of the commander-in-chief. You ask me why. Who is in charge of the security architecture that should ensure who does what, where, at what time? That's why we have the DSS. That's why we have the armed forces. And we have the police. Every killing is a failure. One of the challenges we have is that there are so many ungoverned spaces in Nigeria, for goodness sake. You can imagine the people coming over and over in the same location. They're not. This thing is not strange. Where are the soldiers? Were they there? I always say that no normal man will walk into a lion's den. If you see a lion's den, my brother, will you walk in? You won't. These guys coming there because they know that our security men know there. Where are they? What are they doing in the barracks? Where is DSS intel? Is it to arrest Nnamdi Kanu? Is it to arrest Yahoo boys? Where is the DSS? Where is your information? Now the killing that just happened, the killing of the soldiers. They are saying don't take and hurry. These boys will know. Look, we're all Rivers State, we're Niger Delta people. They live among us. They know when they started, what did the police do to stop and to nip them in the bud? These boys have grown, become tough, gathered weapons, gathered the morale to even attack our soldiers. And if they're speaking grammar, no. The security should be properly done. The president should put his foot down, call the senators, the Senate president, the president of the House of Reps. We must sit down and fix our security apparatus, finance them properly, motivate them properly. So finally, about the environment. Similarly, please don't give money to these contractors. They don't want to take money. What we want is a sustainable environmental sanitation and management system. Go around the world. Germany is one of the best cleaners. Go to US, go to Canada. Invite them here. Let's establish a viable system. Multiply 2,000 naira times 3 million people. See how much you're making from refugees. Please don't pay contractors. All
right, thank you very much, Tammy. Let's go to Temple now. Temple from Oyigbo. Good morning.
Good morning, the very distinguished Ifemi. And how are you doing this morning?
Fantastic, Temple. Go on.
The very distinguished Ifemi, like the government naming 15 financiers of the terrorists. I don't know if this is a new naming ceremony, but is it not high time the names of these persons made public for Nigerians to know them? Are they from Nigeria? Are they from outside the country? Are they financing them from Nigeria? Are they also financing them from an outside country? Because this whole naming ceremony, or even far back 2015 when...
Oh, Temple, you got interrupted again. You might have to call us back. Apologies on that, Temple. Susie from Merima, let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Andrew, good morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually want to sympathize with your journalist who was actually embarrassed at the point of duty where he wants to cover what happened at Delta. To that extent, I also want to say that we should also be careful to the extent that whenever we are doing that, because as at that time, Bullet would have caught up with anybody. So the army also made some frantic efforts by making sure that any other person was not killed, even though he was accused. Sorry to that effect. Then Tono Kocha actually said he inherited the 900 an abandoned project in Rivers State and ordered that the contractor should mobilize to the site, which is a rational thing to do. And as a representative, you will not be watching contract being abandoned and people are walking around. If somebody is saying that Tono Kocha should not comment on issue concerning Rivers State, Tono Kocha is actually a stakeholder and has rights as an opposition leader to checkmate the Rivers State government and all of that led by Siminalayi Fubara. And opposition is not an error. It is one thing that makes the progress of a government. Checks and balance is part of it. And even the development and whatever progress a government is making, if there is no opposition, there is no way government can work. So
right.
As a leader and a stakeholder in Rivers State have the right to checkmate the government of Siminalayi Fubara in this Rivers State. Nobody should turn on Tono Kocha because this man is also doing his own part and he has that right to do that and he will continue to do it. If you don't like it, what is happening at Delta today, I've not heard some of us even lend our voice to what is happening at Delta. But we are here maligning the leaders of thought and leaders and elders of this particular
All right,
state.
Susie, thank you very much. Point made. Let's get on now to some messages on Facebook. NDDC contractors returning to site. That's a good one. Many projects have been abandoned. Womet from Elele, you sent in that one. If we move on, King Boy says, Mr. Femi, Chief Tony Okocha called NDDC contractors to return to site. It's a welcome development. Please, I want him to look out for outside Port Harcourt communities in Echie, Amaku Igbodo Echie, Umozo Che Egbeke, and okay. Henry says, I'm against the killing of those soldiers in Delta State on their peace mission, and want the soldiers to swing into action and bring the police to book. Also, I hail the Joe Vigilante for the actions against those hoodlums terrorizing Diob community. Odimegu says, Ifemi, good morning. State of primary and secondary schools in the state is too bad. We beg our performing governor to please come to our aid. Some are even collapsing before it falls on pupils, students, and teachers. I would keep saying council chairmen are there. We have councillors. Are we not? I spoke to a guest, one of the highnesses, and he was talking about how sometimes it takes the community traditional institution to contribute and fix roof and fix. So I don't know what the system is like, but if we have council chairmen in the local government and you have a primary school or a secondary school in your local government, I know that there was one, was it in Eche? I can't remember, we had on the news where the chairman had to swing into action and, work on it. And my thought then was, so it is possible that chairmen can do this. So why wait till the schools get to that state to become that bad? Or is it that nobody's reporting? If nobody's reporting, then it would mean that maybe the chairmen are not asking questions about the various sectors of the economy in their council. So I would encourage that more can be done. We know that they are doing the little that they can, but they can do more, especially with regards to education. Ida from Nkoro says, good morning. Okay, I think we took your message on Facebook already, Ida, so we'll not take it again on WhatsApp. The killing of soldiers at Okwama community is highly barbaric and is totally condemnable. Nigeria is not a conquered territory of any personal institution, including the Nigerian army. It is wrong for the army to allegedly carry out a reprisal attack on the community and prevent newsmen from accessing the scene. Or one Naimi Dembo, that's from you. Chikezie Lawrence says, Delta State Governor to meet with President Tinubu about the killing of Nigerian soldiers. That's a good one. Peace is paramount, and let's give peace a chance. We'll see if we can take Fidelis before we go on a short commercial. Fidelis says the federal government should invite foreign military assistance to tackle the evil of terrorism once and for all. Okay. Sent in this one from Joko Cheche. I see. With the insecurity in the north, where farmers are finding it difficult to go to the farm, what are we doing in the south? After the break, stay with us.
Oh boy, you will get with that.
And now, Igwe Nightlife, Dr.